Hallo und willkommen. Ich bin Meister Lenzi and you're watching Get Germanized. What's the best season to visit Germany?
I am bored. What should I do?
Ah, ich weiß.
Get Germanized.
At the moment, as you can see, we have autumn. Oh, you will be able to see this in a second. How beautiful it is. Look at that forest there. Wow, this shot, coming here for that shot alone was worth it. I mean, it's very colorful. It could be a bit more reddish, maybe even. It will be at some point. But yeah, look at that. It's very pretty, very nice. And that's what I like about autumn as well. It's not too warm. It's actually a season where you have golden autumn days, for example. Not days like this necessarily because it's quite cloudy, but days where it gets over 20 degrees, where the sun is out. Of course, there are days in autumn where you don't want to leave the house, where it rains, where it's windy and cold. Like today, it's, for example, quite cold, but it's still not too bad. I would say it's around 10 degrees Celsius maybe. Had to wear this outfit, like at least a hoodie and like 2 layers underneath that. Maybe a jacket on top of that would have even been good. But, well, it's okay like this, right? So it's not too cold. But recently it's getting colder and colder, so not all of autumn will be like this. But I think if you are not the type that likes to sweat all the time or wear shorts and t-shirt all the time, then autumn is definitely a season that you should consider. Of course, during the month of September, starting like from the 21st or something like that, I think Oktoberfest happens in Munich, and lots of other fun fairs will happen during September and October all around Germany. So that is something to consider. I didn't go this time to the Oktoberfest, but I went before and it was a lot of fun. So that is maybe for you, a beer fest. Not sure if that is a good recommendation for everyone, but definitely for some people. And other things that I like during autumn, well, it's really mainly the looks of it, the feel outside, the fresh, crisp air. It's getting there at least. And you can wear coats again and multiple layers. It's just nice. You can drink hot drinks outside again. I mean, you can do that any other time of the year, but it doesn't feel as nice. Or you can just stay inside in front of the, the fireplace, and just read a book and drink your tea, and it gets all cozy and nice. Cuddle season, Netflix season, right? It's just nice. And winter, for that matter, getting into winter is nice too for doing all these things, of course. But it can get quite brisk, quite cold, and that might not be for everyone. Personally, I enjoy this. I don't mind the cold at all, but again, it might not be for everyone. Personally, I have to say winter is not one of my favorite seasons, just because we rarely ever get snow anymore. That kind of, I don't know, I mean, it's still winter, I suppose, but it's transitioned from snow in December or November even, to snow in January, February, and sometimes even March. And I don't know, that's just a bit too late for my taste, to be quite honest. And yeah, if you don't have White Christmas, what's the point? I don't know. It's just, when I grew up, there was pretty much White Christmas every time, but now not so much anymore. And that's a bit sad, and that might turn some people off of coming to Germany during winter, or I should specify and say during December. But talking about something that would get you to come to Germany during December or November, end of November, is the Christmas markets. They're just super nice, and you can go outside with your friends, stroll through a Christmas market, drink a Glühwein, like a mulled wine, or a honey wine, like a mead, and just, I don't know, it's just a really festive and nice atmosphere. Smells everywhere, like of roasted almonds, roasted chestnuts, and just yummy foods everywhere, roasted fish even, and stuff like that. thinking about that makes me want to go there right now. But I mean, it's still October, so no Christmas markets for me yet. They usually start on about the 28th of November, I would say, or something like that. And it's also when people will have a lot of Christmas parties, end of November and all through December, basically until Christmas. And that's really the nicest part about winter, I think, at least, those Christmas markets and just hanging out with your friends and exchanging presents and stuff like that. And I mean, they exchange presents almost everywhere else in the world as well, so that's not really a reason why you should come here, I suppose, not necessarily. But definitely the Christmas markets, that is something original that doesn't exist in many other places in the world. I mean, England has them, I think, in London, and other, like America, USA in specific, might have adapted that from Germany, but we have the original Weihnachtsmarkt, the original Christmas market. So so no ripoff, but the Christmas market, the Weihnachtsmarkt. So come here if you want that, if you want to experience it firsthand. I say it's worth it just for that. Book a holiday trip to any big German city, get a room, a hotel room or an Airbnb or whatever you want to do for a week or two, and stroll through the nice parts during winter time. If you're super lucky, you'll even get snow. Unlikely, but I mean, you might be lucky enough to get snow, who knows, and that will make just for a wonderful, magical experience. Can't promise you, of course, that you'll get snow, but nevertheless, it will be nice. You will have to pack some gloves, some scarves, some coats, thick coats, and maybe even multi-layer clothing, like very thin, long sleeve shirts, for example, that you can wear underneath your sweater and underneath your jacket and whatnot. Prepare for that. Many layers, like an onion principle, is the key to not being freezingly cold most of the time. And of course, during winter, you can also do other activities like, for example, ice skating, sometimes even on lakes. It gets as cold as that, so that you can ice skate on lakes. But please only go to areas where it's allowed, where it's safe. Don't just go on a random lake where there's no one else and test out the ice, because that might result in your death. And I don't want to be responsible for that. Please be careful. And yeah, ice hockey is of course possible. I mean, we have these ice sport halls all year round, all over Germany, so you can do that anytime really. But in winter, I guess it's a bit more special. They even have these ice skating rinks in cities, sometimes in the city centers, for kids or for anyone really who wants to go there and ice skate. They will provide ice skating shoes for you as well, so don't worry about bringing your own. Winter is a really nice season all in all. We have, of course, our New Year's celebrations during winter as well, with lots of fireworks and lots of New Year's traditions that you can find in my video that I've linked in the video description about these kind of things. All related videos, by the way, to all seasons are going to be linked in the video description. So if you want to know a little bit more about things you can do during those times of the year, make sure to watch that as well. In many locations throughout Germany, you can also do winter sports like snowboarding and skiing. Not where I live necessarily, but in the more mountainous regions of the Alps, of course, and the Harz Mountains and the Harz region. It will be possible. I have friends who went there as kids already and are now fantastic skiers. I am not. I've never been on a skiing trip, just once, and I chose to go on a snowboard. And it was nice, but it was nice until I sprained my wrists by constantly falling on them. So yeah, that you can do that though. It happens, it exists here in Germany. Other seasons that I would recommend, basically all of them, but we're gonna go through every single season here, is of course spring. The spring is very special in Germany because you will get a lot of, what do you expect from spring really? Like flowers and blossoms and all these kind of things. And it's just a very nice atmosphere. Sometimes you even get really warm days during spring already, and then you can sit outside. So after this long cold winter, you can finally sit outside again and just enjoy yourself and be nice and cozy. And I think that's a nice thing to do. Specific events, I mean, we have spring fun fairs, spring markets, Frühling, spring. Other than that, I can't think of anything right now. If I find anything, I'll present it to you here via text or whatever. But yeah, spring is just very appealing visually as well. And it's of course not as cold as winter, and life returns to everything. The plants and the animals come back too. And it's just very pleasing in a way, and very, I don't know, it makes you feel connected to nature more again, and you want to be outside more again, because now's the time you can soak up some rays, some sunshine, and some vitamin D3. It's regenerated, and most people get over their winter depression if they had it, and finally can smile again. Well, do Germans smile? I don't know, but you know, you change a little bit at least, and I think that's very nice if this season can do that to you. And last but not least, I want to talk about summer in Germany. A very, well, this year at least, extensive season. Very nice and warm, very hot and very unusual. So I cannot really say this is summer in Germany now, because before I always said, well, summer in Germany is like a day. It's not really worth speaking about. It's not nice. It's boring because it's over before you can notice it, and also very many times there would be rain and just shitty weather during what is supposed to be the nicest season, damn it, of the year. But this year, 2018, was very different. There were months and months and months on end with sunshine and really warm, even hot temperatures. And this is very unusual for Germany. And I'm not sure if it will stay this way now or not. To be honest, personally, I would appreciate it, because I grew up in this country where, I mean, decent summers, yes, but not nearly as nice or as warm for as long as a period of time as in other countries, like, or states of the USA, for example, Florida or whatever. I mean, you probably don't want it to be hot for that long, but you know what I mean. A decent summer with a decent amounts of sunshine. I would appreciate that. If it stayed that way, I wouldn't mind. Other people, not so much. I'm pretty sure I heard that many people are just not having it. Oh, when will it rain again? Oh no, this is way too hot. And sometimes I understand, because of course farmers will have problems when their crops shrivel and die. Like this year, for example, I saw so many fields that were just yellow, like corn fields, for example, not because the corn is yellow, but because it died. And that is a big problem for farmers, I understand. I'm not sure how they would adapt to that necessarily, because if the climate changes, like for good, then there's not really a whole lot that you can do, to be honest. And I know that's bad, but maybe then they can start growing other things here instead. I'm no farmer, but I'm pretty sure that's possible to grow plants that are more, well, or that can survive better in a warmer climate. So yeah, this year's summer was very nice. You could do a lot of outdoor activities. I mean, if you're very sensitive to heat, I suppose not really, because then you say, oh, I couldn't even go outside, it's too hot. And definitely people looked into buying air conditioning this year more than usual. Usually it's not really a thing in Germany to have air conditioning, but I was even thinking about, like, how much is air conditioning? And my friend Sergio, if I believe, he even got air conditioning with this hose that you put outside the window, right? And so people's behavior changed. So as you can see, people usually don't have air conditioning, or what I always said in other videos, people don't have air conditioning in Germany because we don't need it. But now, if the climate should change, that might change too. You might see more and more air conditioning systems being installed in people's homes and in offices and stores in general. But yeah, who knows? I would welcome it. let me know what you think about that. Do you prefer the German summer, what it was like before, with like a lot of rainy periods as well, or not? I mean, to be honest, for nature, more rain would have been better this year, I agree, but maybe it can rain during the night. That'd be quite good. That's unrealistic, I know, but still would be cool if that could somehow happen magically. Please, nature, Mother Nature, no? Okay. Anyway, yeah, summer is super nice. I mean, you can go swimming. There's a lot of public pools. There are a lot of Badeseen, which means like bathing lakes or swimming lakes where you're allowed to go and swim. Many people just go to lakes without it being allowed, and they have barbecues and whatnot outside there as well. We Germans love our barbecue during the summer period as well. Some people will have barbecues as much as every weekend. I used to do that with my friends as well at some point. Not necessarily doing that anymore, sadly. Also, a reason why is because we're just spread all over the country now, and some of us live even outside the country, which is a bit sad, but can't really be helped. But usually Germans will very regularly have barbecues. Barbecues in Germany are a bit different than in other countries, maybe, I don't know. Mainly meat on the grill, and it's not like a long, drawn-out process of cooking the meat. It's on there and then get done as fast as possible. Sometimes it's a bit black, depends on how well you can barbecue. And then you eat it, and you have like potato salad. If you have people who like to add anything to that, happens sometimes, then you will have potato salad and other salads and stuff like that, and often baguette bread with like herb butter, like Kräuterbutter is very nice. And yeah, you can do whatever you want basically, but it is a tradition that Germans love to do. Barbecue, grillen in Germany, not like grillen like the animal, which is like a cricket, but grillen like the barbecue. Other things we like to do during summer are, of course, outdoor sports. I mean, same in spring and any other time of the year, like local football clubs, soccer clubs will train all year round. I think even in winter, depends on how bad it is. They might swap outdoors then, if the winter is very mild, and they might still go outside. But yeah, you can do that. And theme parks are open all year round as well. My favorite thing to do is to go to a theme park when the weather is a little bit shitty, or when it appears shitty, but it doesn't rain after all. I mean, that's very unlikely condition to happen. It happens. It happened to me before, and then you can just go on the rides over and over, and no one will make you wait in line. So that would be fantastic. But of course, it's a bit unrealistic. But yeah, the theme parks are definitely a thing that people do here quite a bit. We have a couple of big ones. I filmed at those theme parks before as well. If you're interested to find out which are the best ones, and or which is the best one for you, then check out these videos linked in the video description as well, of course. And yeah, that's something I do greatly enjoy, but maybe not everyone. So let's think about some other things that people like to do during summer in Germany. And well, you can go hiking, of course, and people do it. Might be a bit stressful to you if you don't like to sweat a lot, because this year especially, if you did anything active outside of your air conditioning zone or fan zone, then you would sweat a lot. So I don't know if that's for you or not, but if you enjoy that, if you don't mind that, you can of course be very active outside as well, or do water sports outside where you can cool off at the same time. That's probably a good idea actually. So yeah, those were the seasons in Germany described by me. I hope I did a decent job at least. Probably forgot something. If I forgot something, don't get frustrated and leave a hate comment, but please just ask a question, a constructive question in the comment section below. That would be lovely. I know sometimes it can be frustrating if you started watching a video and don't get all the information you wanted, but I hope I entertained and informed you at least a little bit better. I don't know. You saw lots of pretty countryside here in Germany. I hope you appreciated that as well, as much as I did, because I love driving through these. And I also want to say I appreciate you for taking your time to watch these videos on Get Germanized. I know we all have a busy schedule, so you sitting down and taking, well, 10 to 20 minutes out of your schedule, out of your personal time, it's really amazing. Thank you so much. You support me that way as well. You don't even know how much it means. So again, vielen Dank, thank you. And apart from that, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to get Germanized. Goodbye and auf Wiedersehen.